From the east and the west, from the east and the west, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show. And this is the Primetime Angles Live. All right. It's time to start another great day. This is January 19th. Beautiful day. I think it's the last day for the Capricorns and everything like that, but 19 days out of the 2021 that we're already in. So pretty much I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you guys are feeling the same. Let's go ahead and jump into it real quick, though. We got some NFL news to talk about early in the show, and I just wanted to go ahead and jump into Urban Meyer and the Jaguars. Boy, oh boy, this is a funny deal. Urban Meyer finally joins the ranks of the NFL and finds itself on the most irrelevant franchise of all franchises, pretty much in all of sports, in my opinion, to be dead honest with you, because the Jaguars' relevancy was probably sometime in the mid to late 90s, and then they kind of came back around a few years ago. But other than that, this team is really not up to par the way that you would want them to be. But the thing is, though, now they finally got the first pick in the draft, and this is why I think he's here. I know that he wants to maybe make sure that his legacy is still intact in the college game, but he wants to show that he can also coach the NFL as well, too, from what I'm seeing here with this challenge. But this is a challenge. This isn't like him going to Ohio State after he went to Florida, winning 2 national championships, or like coming from Utah. This is a different situation for Urban Meyer. So who will Urban Meyer actually select first in the draft? We all know it's going to be a quarterback. Will it be the Ohio State's Justin Fields, or will it be Clemson's Trevor Lawrence? Well, I'm thinking to myself, the way that I see it is like this. Pretty much this is going to be a very tricky situation, because do you want to take the guy that you've actually invested in and pretty much brought to the program, or do you want to go ahead and say, okay, we're going to take a shot on Trevor Lawrence, who they said is the future of quarterbacks in the NFL? But you know what? After that Final Four game, I wasn't that impressed with what I saw there. So pretty much I'm just thinking to myself that they have to figure out a way to make this a splash pick, a pick that's going to be the face of your franchise for the next decade or so. And when I look at this pick, I tell myself, I say that the best option for them right now, I would say, when I look at it, is going to be, I think, all in all, will be Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields fits the mold a little bit better. I think he's a little bit tougher than Lawrence as well, too. And I think what happens here is that, pretty much you'll get a quarterback that can be transcending in a sense with Fields. If you look at Fields' record and see what he did with the guys that he played with, even though all those guys are going to be great Sunday players, at the end of the day, he made them even better. I felt like the guys from Clemson, they're already ready-made products. So pretty much, Lawrence is just reaping the benefits of what Deshaun Watson had, what Kelly had before him as well, too. But Trevor Lawrence was pretty special, being a freshman quarterback, taking over a national champion and then disposing of a team like Alabama, first time out. But times have changed, though. The NFL is really, really difficult. And I feel like when you're playing against the big-time teams like the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Notre Dames of the world, and you getting locked up and you're not really having that great of a game, it's simply because you might not be ready for NFL defenses as well, too, moving forward. So we'll see how it goes. But it just seemed like Justin Fields passed every test, and I just think that he's the better choice when it comes down to it. I think that his longevity will be a little bit better. I know it seems like he's a little bit brittle, but he's just a tough kid, and I think that he'll learn before he gets to the NFL. So we move on, and let's go ahead and talk about the Lions. The Lions are going through a situation now where they are now, I think, maybe on their sixth head coach or so now. So pretty much searching for a new head coach. So they have to make a splash here. I think that when they make a splash here, that they're going to have to go ahead and find themselves a coach that's going to fit the culture, not just the culture of the team, the culture of the city. Somebody that's a blue collar worker who's going to go out there and go work from day one and try to improve this team, make Detroit something of more just a team that finishes last place in the NFC North. Make Detroit a very, make Detroit a contender at this point. And I think that the guy that's best for that job right now is going to be a guy like Eric Bieniemy, who's just perfect for this situation right now with Detroit. You still got Matt Stafford, who's still a pretty good quarterback, but all he needs is a great offensive coordinator such as Eric Bieniemy, and I know that he'll be able to work with those great running backs that they have as well too. Kerryon Johnson can play. Also, DeAndre Swift can play as well too. And these guys, they had some ballers out there. It's just that they kept coming up short. And when you look at Detroit's season, it wasn't that bad of a season. It just wasn't a season that you would expect, pretty much to it was a season that you pretty much expect from them. But I think that they actually exceeded expectations, to be honest with you. Another coach that could be on the radar is McDaniels, because McDaniels brings that good Midwest mentality and everything like that. Played for Canton McKinley High School, quarterback, led them to a national championship. I think that he's ready to lead men once again. When he was in Denver, Denver was a pressure situation because Denver wanted to win right away. They wanted to look like the Patriots when they were doing it. And then they just weren't feeling the fact that Tim Tebow was the quarterback. And Tim Tebow did nothing but win. But at the end of the day, that just wasn't good enough for the Broncos. And pretty much they just really pulled the trigger on McDaniels a little bit too quickly. But I think really what happened with him is that he just didn't perform well in the locker room with those veterans. That's all it is. And pretty much they just didn't like him. And it is what it is at the end of the day. You just got to move forward. But he went back to New England. He was able to get himself reestablished. And I think now he's prepared to be a head coach in the NFL. So as we move on, let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles real quick. The Eagles have themselves a situation now where I think that they pretty much jumped the gun when it comes down to head coaches and everything like that. I think that Peterson still deserved a shot to be their head coach. I really don't think he threw the game because Washington was going to win that game from the top of the day anyway. Washington had earned the right to be that team at this point. And pretty much I know him bringing in the third string quarterback seemed questionable, but wanted to give the guys some time, and sometimes you're giving guys some tape so they can go on to the next team as well too and get themselves another contract. You got to understand this is a job as well too in the NFL. So these guys, what they're doing is they're trying to still look good. You got to look good on the resume somehow, some way. So pretty much I think the Eagles jumped the gun because you have a coach that just recently won a Super Bowl and it still have been winning the division for you as well too. I think what happened here is that the relationship with the starting quarterback has been soured. And so pretty much for them to keep the starting quarterback happy, being Carson Wentz, they have to go ahead and fire Doug Peterson because it looked like Doug Peterson gave up on Carson Wentz, a guy that he was very high on. And then, I still don't think that Jalen Hurts, I like the kid a lot, but I think that he's a Vince Evans, to be honest with you. And all my old school folks who are watching the show know who Vince Evans is. Vince Evans was the backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears in '85, and he's the backup quarterback for the LA Raiders for pretty much till the end of his career. And he was a really serviceable quarterback, but that didn't mean that you started him every game. He was a quarterback that could get you 1 or 2 or 3 wins while the backup is hurt. But I think that's all what you can get out of Jalen Hurts at this point in time. He can prove me wrong, and you know how he can prove me wrong? If the Eagles go ahead and pursue his college coach, Lincoln Riley. I think Lincoln Riley fits the bill perfectly for this Eagles team. They want to have an offense that's top flight, that takes off, and that will be able to compete with that, with that great roster of the Dallas Cowboys as well too. So pretty much, the Eagles need to pursue the college coach, and I don't even like giving promos to college coaches, but I think Lincoln Riley fits the bill for this team. I think he fits the bill for today's NFL in general, just because the way his passing game and his offensive scheme is set up. And I think that maybe it's a little bit too advanced for college football and belongs right into the NFL. So if the Eagles really want to get a coach that can be a game changer, in my opinion, it will have to be Lincoln Riley. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the day, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to be welcoming in our guest, Vaughn Booker, 9-year NFL veteran, in a moment. So you guys go ahead and pretty much stay tuned, and we'll be right back to you. And this is the Primetime Angles, the premier sports bet show.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world?
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we having a little bit of a technical. We couldn't get Vaughn on the video, but we do have him via cell phone right now. So what's going on? It's my man Vaughn Booker, 9-year NFL veteran. How's everything going, brother?
Everything's going good so far, bro. How's it going out there and on the West Coast?
Oh, everything is well, man. California's a little gloomy, but it's fine. You know, they've been spoiling us with great weather the last few days. The last month pretty much. So I'm good with it. We had a little bit of a cold front, but it didn't last too long. How's everything down there in Atlanta?
Actually, I'm not even in Atlanta anymore. I moved from Atlanta back to my hometown in Cincinnati, Ohio, this time last year. And actually got caught in Cincinnati on my way to D.C. That's where I was moving to. And, got caught up here. My mom, she's getting up there in age, and people started having COVID. And I was like, I think I need to be around, family more. So I built a house here, and I've been here 1 year now this month. So, it's just different being back home. I try to be here for the family. I still can't see them, because everybody's, secluded and social distancing and things of that nature. So it's a little different. I've been gone a long time. I feel like I'm in a new city. So, that's what it is.
All right. So pretty much, and we talk about Cincinnati. Now, your Cincinnati Bearcats this year, now, do you think they got robbed a little bit? Because they had one of the best seasons ever for the Cincinnati Bearcats. And pretty much they had to play, what bowl were they in? They were in the Peach Bowl, correct?
Yeah, they was in Peach Bowl. They played against Georgia.
Right.
I think it played out the way it's supposed to play out. I mean, the way that game went against Georgia just tells that we weren't exactly ready, to be up in the top tier. So it's a growing process. I'm proud of our men at University of Cincinnati. I think they had a great year. They continue to build every year with that program. But the better we get, the more we lose. We lost our defensive coordinator to Notre Dame. So every time we improve, other schools, they don't want to give us the credit, but they want what we have, to build their system up.
Right, exactly. So pretty much, do you think that Fick was on the way out?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a natural progression. You're in this game to be better. You got to look out for yourself. It is a business at the end of the day. But for him personally, it's a no-brainer for him. It's more money, it's a bigger school, it's more exposure. And that's only going to help him. And it's going to help our program also. He was there long enough to put the eyes on us. We just got to continue what they learn from him and build off of that.
All right, and so let's go ahead and get down to your beloved Chiefs. And I'm going to ask that fan question because you were part of the Chiefs at one of the best moments ever to be a part of a Chiefs defense, and you were able to play with Dale Carter, Hall of Famer Gary Thomas, and Mr. Neil Smith himself, the baseball bat. How was that experience playing with that defense?
It was incredible. They were my first team. I was with them for 4 years. And 2 out of my 4 years, we were the number one defense. I think the first and third year of my career there. But the play alongside Dale, Neil, DT, I had some great teammates in my whole 9-year career. But those guys, especially DT and Neil, showed me how to come into the league. I came from Canada, the Canadian League. So when I got into the NFL, I was an older cat. I was still first-year guy with the rookies coming in, but DT and Neil, they pretty much took me under their wing. They say, hey, you're not a rookie to us. Come in with the mentality that you're going to be on this field, and once you get your shot, just play like, a veteran. That's what I did. I hung around them a lot. I studied a lot. I've never studied that much in my life, but that's what they told me I needed to do to be a part of what they were doing. And I took it upon myself to always be around players that was either on my level or above me. Like, I can't really learn anything from somebody below me. Only thing I can do is pull you up once I learn. That's how I took it. And that's how I think they took it towards me. They pulled me up so that one day I could pull somebody else up.
All right. And then, I can't let you off the hook without asking you this question. You get to training camp first day and you see your starting quarterback is Cool Joe Montana, fresh off coming up from San Francisco. How was that experience?
I was like a kid in the candy shop, for real. I couldn't even believe it. I see my quarterback is Joe Montana. I look to my left, my running back is Marcus Allen. I'm like, man, am I really here? And to me, that's all it really took, just to see guys that I grew up watching on the same field as me. That was the motivation that I needed. And to me, I just told myself, there's nothing I'm not going to do to not make this team. And when the preseason started, I just considered myself, a starter, because they were letting the rookies, play the most for the first couple of games. So I took it as, I'm a starter. This is my game. I'm a ball out. I'm going to make people see me, is what I kept telling myself. And nobody's going to outwork me. They had a lot of players there that had all the muscles coming out the back of their neck. And, I'm just a tall guy. I'm a big guy, but I'm not cut up. But these guys that was cut up like that, I just looked at them. I say, built like Tarzan, play like Jane.
Right.
I'm here to play football. I know the ins and outs of it. I know what it takes. I know how to read offenses. I know how to read formations. I know what the guys next to me supposed to be doing and the guys behind me. So the more I studied, the more comfortable I became into the scheme. And I think they saw that. And once this regular season started, our starting defensive end, Derek Mickle, I think he hurt his knee or something. And they called me up. That was like the third game of my rookie season. And I just put it in my head, as much as I love Derek, he ain't getting his position back. That's just how I was approaching everything in my life at that time. Because I looked at most players, especially the ones that were drafted, they might have been hungry. But I grew up undrafted, and I was hungry. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between being hungry and being hungry. And I didn't see nobody out there that was as hungry as I was. So that's how I approached it.
Understood. All right, so it's a year later. It's after 94. The Chiefs come out and they go 13-3. But they fell short to the Colts. I know I'm bringing up old stuff, but I'm just asking that question because that 95 team was special. 13-3. How was that season just going throughout that season that year?
It was unbelievable. I think that year I even scored a touchdown on defense. But we were living high on the hog. I think our quarterback then was Steve Baughn or something. I think he got hurt. We brought in Rich Gannon. And then things just changed when Steve Bono came back. Indianapolis came in. Our quarterback, I think that's the game where Lynn Elliott missed a couple of close field goals. Harbaugh was just running up the middle of our defense. It was kind of shocking to us because we had a bye week, and I hate bye weeks because you get complacent. We got away from doing Marty ball, what we used to call it, and we just kind of just try to heal ourselves up, not really banging on each other, because Marty Ball to us was about making practice so hard to where the game was easy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Marty Ball for us was. And for us to take that week off, in the playoffs, we thought we had it made. Indianapolis came up there. They were ready. They were a dome team. It was cold as heck. And we just thought we had it. And Harbaugh just ran straight up the middle on us. Lynn Elliott was missing field goals. Bono was back. Things just wasn't looking good. So they deserved to win. They went on, and we didn't.
Well, man, it would have been a sweet Super Bowl, with the Chiefs and the Cowboys that year. I know that was what everybody was banking on. I know NBC was banking on it, but you know what? They got a good little consolation prize with getting the Steelers and the Cowboys. Cowboys got their little revenge that year. So it is what it is, right? So pretty much with that, we're going to talk about your Chiefs when we after this break. So when we get back, we're going to go over the Chiefs' chances and everything, and how the good old vet Vaughn Booker's feeling about his team. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and this is the Premier Sports Betting Show. Because you're on the phone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back with the Primetime Angles, the Premier Sports Betting Show with the one and only Pop DiBiase, and we have my man Vaughn Booker here on the line. And Vaughn, all right, let's get down to business. Your Chiefs are hosting the Buffalo Bills, and I know you remember the Bills very well. I know you do.
Definitely.
You know the rulers of the early '90s. So now it looks like this is a crazy situation, because the last time the Bills played in the AFC Championship game, they played against your Chiefs. I don't know if you were there at the time, but you know what I'm saying, though. They played against the Chiefs, and it was a cold day in Buffalo, but this time it's going to be a cold day in KC. What are the keys to victory for your Chiefs in this AFC title game?
Say that last part one more time. What are the what?
What are the keys to victory for your Chiefs?
Oh, first of all, we got to make sure that Pat Mahomes is okay. So we think that's going to turn out good for us. I think it's more of a neck sprain type of thing, to where he got choked out as opposed to being concussed related. But other than Pat being out there, we just got to do what we do. You know, we can't let too many things dictate what goes on with us. Our defense got to play better as far as our tackling, like I told you before. we tackle too high in the secondary. I need Frank Clark to step his game up. Chris Jones always shows up for us, and the Honey Badger, he does what he does. So as far as defensively, only concern I have is our tackling abilities and the secondary. Offensively, I don't think nobody can touch us. I mean, as long as Pat is out there, we got number 10 out there, 87, who's a Bearcat. He's out there. I'm not worried about our offense. If Henny has to start the game, that will be a little concern for me. But I think that Eric Bieniemy going to put a package together just in case, that happens. But I'm not worried about it. It's not going to be how it was in Buffalo, which I wasn't on the team at that time. I came in the year after that. But I do remember them talking about it when I got, in the league, how they got out of the season last year. But I don't think it's going to be like that this year. We're too focused. I don't think we're going to let nobody get no 10 to 20-point lead on us no more. And we're just going to go out there and do what we got to do. We would have did it to Cleveland had Pat not got hurt. It would have just stretched out to a big number win for us. So I'm not worried at all.
All right. And talking about Pat Mahomes, you're a defensive guy. Do you feel that was a dirty hit that Matt Wilson did to Pat Mahomes in that game?
I think so, because you can see even after his arm finally came released from it, he was still battling at the ball. He's clearly all the way down. When I don't think he realized what he was doing initially after he hit the ground with Pat, but to keep your arm there and pull it, he almost pulled Pat by his neck. Pat's whole body was off the ground. That's a choke out. It's unfortunate. It could have been incidental. It kind of didn't look like it in slow motion. It stayed there too long for me, and he was still tensed up with it. But, it's part of football. I just hope, Pat's going to be all right. Even if he can't play, this Sunday, I just hope he's going to be all right. So it's part of football, I guess. Well, they're going to look at it.
Well, he did run off the field, and for a second there, I thought he was going to come back, and a lot of people thought he was going to come back as well, too. Do you feel the trainers did the right thing taking him out of the game?
Oh, yeah, definitely. At that point in the game, the way he stood up and how his eyes were looking, and he ain't have his legs up under him, I knew from that point on there was no way he was coming back in this game. Not if the trainers really did their job. You know what I'm saying? You get a player all discombobulated like that in the head, through their face, you got to take him out the game. And if you put him back into the game, you're doing him a great disservice. This is not just, about this man's performance today. It's about his lifestyle after football. You got to be concerned about those type of things, which a lot of us are going through now. A lot of players, former players, are going through a lot of physical and mental things right now. So, yeah, I think they did the right thing by taking him out and keeping him out.
Okay, because I was just going back to, and I even said it myself when I watched the game. I said, back in the 90s, when something like that happened, you got a guy running off the field like the way Mahomes did, usually they would tell the trainer, I'm trying to get back in the game, and they would just hand him back their helmet. So we've came a long way in the NFL, in my opinion, since that point in time, and I'm glad. I totally agree that the trainers did do the correct thing. You live to fight another day. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. When I was playing, there was nobody on the sideline as far as trainers or the concussion doctors that they have today. They weren't out there when I was playing. You go out there and you come up woozy and you got the Tweety birds going around your head. They just call that getting your bell rung, when I was playing. So you go out for a play or two, they put some smelling salt under your nose, hold up how many fingers I got. You get the right number within one, you're going back on the field. So that was just how I was brought up in the game. Right. And I wish we had more people more concerned about us back then, because I can see a lot of my friends going through things. I don't know exactly what stage or if I'm experiencing anything, because you don't know until until it happens. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell what's happening with me. But people around me could probably see differences from over the years that I've changed from being from one way to another way. And if I'm forgetting things, I don't really know. I don't know what's happening, but I'm glad that they are out there for these guys today. And I'm glad that things are being brought up to where even for retired players, they're looking at us now.
Right on. Now, I'm totally agreed. I'm glad that I'm glad that we are in a safer NFL now, because they could be really loose in this type of league. The way that they're turning in and turning out players as much as they are as well too. All right, so if you guys go ahead, everything works out Sunday, get the big win, get the big celebration over at Arrowhead. What do you think about the Chiefs repeating?
I think we got a great chance at it. I mean, like I said, I believe 100% in all aspects of our game, except for our tackling in the secondary. I think our return game and the special teams is pretty good. Offensively, nobody could touch us. The guys that we would be facing in Super Bowl, Green Bay or Tampa Bay, those are two great quarterbacks, two great football teams. But we don't concern ourselves with who's next until they're up next. So right now, up next is Buffalo. We got to take care of that. We'll figure that other stuff out after Buffalo, if we're still there, and I think we will be. I think people are going to be more concerned about if we're there or not, if Pat is there or not, as opposed to us worried about who's going to be there.
Understood. And the Chiefs are a big favorite to actually repeat with. But as you said before, Mahomes has to be in. But I think that he's a go Sunday, to be honest with you.
Oh, me too, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at it again. I don't see nothing that's concussion related in that tackle. So I don't see that being the reason why he's not playing. Now, if it's because of something else with his neck or a nerve in his neck or something like that, I haven't heard anything as far as that. But that could be something that could hold him back, or at least, change his throwing pattern or whatever it is. I want him to be healthy first. I would love for him to be out there. I don't care who's in the Super Bowl as long as it's us. That's all I care about. I don't care who on the other side. I don't think we really care about that. We focus on us. I still talk to a lot of coaches and players in Kansas City, so I'm not that far removed from knowing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
Right.
I feel good.
Right. Well, you could possibly get two of your teams in there because you were a Packer as well too. And so how's that going to be? Are you going to have the jerseys, or we just going Kansas City?
Well, I think everybody knows where my heart lies. I mean, if you're a Facebook friend of mine. So, I mean, I have nothing against Green Bay. I love Green Bay, another team that I had some great support. I had, my defensive end was Reggie White. My quarterback was Brett Favre. You know what I'm saying? So I played with some great guys throughout my 9 years. But when it comes down to who I lean towards, everybody know I'm a Chief. I played for them first. I played for them the longest, so I only played for Green Bay for 2 years. And it was a great experience. And we won. And I had fun and everything. But, no, it's nothing like being a Chiefs fan. I love them.
I got you. So, last question. What was your best NFL memory?
Oh, probably, two of them. Me making the team. I remember actually making the last cut and going into my locker and calling my mom and telling her, and I couldn't even get through it. I went from being how old I was at that time to feeling like I was like a 6-year-old boy calling his mom. But that was impressive, and it stayed with me, my whole life since then. Just being able to tell my mom I made the team and her believing in me and hearing her voice on the other side of the phone. Other than that, football-wise, it's probably when I scored my only touchdown on defense, returning a John Elway fumble that Darren Nickel had caused, and I returned it about 17 yards. And that's probably one of my biggest memories as far as actual play I had.
Now, what dance did you do?
I'll tell you what I did. When I scored my touchdown, I tried to jump up in the stands. You know how they do the Lambeau leap in Green Bay, right?
Right.
But in Arrowhead, there's a pole on top of the wall, right? So when I jumped up there and the pole went into my stomach, and then my teammates jumped on my back, man, I thought I was going to die. So I had to push everybody off of me just so I can breathe. But, other than that, I don't really do too many dances. That's a lot of energy for a big defensive end. So I try to reserve all extra energy. You never know when there's going to be a turnover. You got to get back on the field. So I just try to, do my play, get to the bench, and get ready to go back out there on the field when I need to go out there.
Well, man, I love it. And you're one of my favorite people, Vaughn. I can't wait to bring you back in. Hopefully, next week after your Chiefs and everything win, I'll bring you back Super Bowl week and everything like that. So I thank you so much for joining me today. And is there anybody you want to go ahead and shout out before I let you go and we go to this next break?
Man, I just want to shout out to all the haters who think they had a chance. First of all, every team that plays, y'all please stop running up to that daggone camera as a group thinking y'all really win this game. That don't do nothing but motivate us. Actually, you know what? Continue that. We got this. We're good.
All right. 9-year vet, Vaughn Booker. Thank you, brother. Yeah.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production. From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
All right, we're back with the Primetime Angles, and this is a time to go ahead and talk about some NBA real quick. We just got done talking about some football, but now it's time to talk about the NBA, and we got some issues going on over here in Cleveland right now. Cleveland's having a decent season right now, but it looks like Kevin Porter Jr. is to be traded or released by the Cavs after altercation with the front office. He actually got into a skirmish with the general manager, Corey Altman, and Altman, they said that Porter wound up throwing food at the guy and everything like that, because what had happened was that pretty much his locker was given away to a player that they had just traded for. I think it was for Jared Allen, maybe, but they had just for somebody they just traded for. They had actually removed him from his locker, so he was pretty upset about that. So he threw a big temper tantrum, and the guy's been on suspension because he had an issue with a firearm or something of that nature. So pretty much, it looks like It could be the end of the road for Kevin Porter Jr., but I would have to say right now, this is an opportunity wasted because the Cavaliers knew coming in that this kid was kind of out there a little bit. He was kind of, kind of had some mental issues and things of that nature. And, the NBA thinks that they can nurture these guys and, get them to, cooperate and things of that nature. But some people just can't be helped. And I think that this guy probably would have needed maybe another year or two of college, and that's where you can go ahead and get yourself polished up and, get your mental and everything together and, and let the petty things go. But the thing is now you're about to maybe cost yourself your NBA career because other teams are going to look at this and they're not going to really be ready to go ahead and invest anything in you. This is $1 billion. This is $1 billion corporation right now. And you guys are making millions of dollars. You guys are getting a king's ransom to play a kid's game. So pretty much be humble and make sure that you can stick around for a while and get over the locker room situation. You don't own the locker. You don't own the locker room. All you do is play for the team. You don't know. You could be on another team the next day. But I'm done preaching. Let's go ahead and get to the next topic. Now, Luka, he said something that I haven't heard players say in a while, but I always say this about players that go get triple doubles and lose. They were being selfish that night. And Luka is admitted it finally. I was selfish after getting a triple double in a loss to the Bulls on Sunday night. And it's a great stat. But if you lose the game, you were being selfish. That means that you were ball hogging. Pretty much the ball is in your hand 70, 80% of the time. And so this literally took things away from – this literally took away opportunities from your teammates. And so it pretty much puts you guys in a situation where he has to play the superhero, but he has 4 other guys that can actually compete and can contribute as well too. And Luka knows this, and he knows that he messed up in a game against the Chicago Bulls where you have to use your teammates because the Chicago Bulls are a team that really will be able to beat you if you want to play him 1-on-5. And Luka feels like he played 1-on-5, and I'm glad somebody finally admitted it, knowing that they played too selfishly to actually help and it was a detriment to their team. You're not going to hear really any superstar say that. So pretty much I tip my cap to Luka for what he said, and I think it was right on time, and I think that he's going to actually evaluate his game and actually demand more from his teammates as well too. So there it is, Luka, keeping it real, 100. He was selfish and he knows it. But the thing at the end of the day, it was a good selfish because he was trying to win the game, trying to do the most, but he knows he overdid it. And when a guy figures out he knows he overdid it, that's a player that you can get behind. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about last night though. What happened on MLK Day? So pretty much we had the Nets edge out the Bucks. And the Nets came in there with a flurry. It was, the Nets really were leading throughout the game as well, too. So, it wasn't like that they had to play from behind or anything like that. But the Nets looked really good. And the combination of Harden and Durant, it's looking like 2012 all over again. These guys are just absolutely just wet together. You know what I mean? King and Duck. Everybody knows white men can't jump. They know who I'm talking about. So pretty much, they are doing their thing right now. Harden just seems so happy to be back with KD. I know that he really never wanted to leave Oklahoma City because he didn't want to stop playing with KD and Westbrook, but I think really he didn't want to stop playing with KD because KD is such a baller. So pretty much right now, KD is showing that he's the best offensive weapon in the NBA. But I can't say best player because he doesn't do it both ways. So the thing is, this team is going to be high end offensively, but I think at the end of the day, though, this team still needs they need some type of enforcer. They need some type of scraper. They need somebody who's going to do the extra things that doesn't need too much credit for it as well, too. So the Nets win 125-123, and in all, KD goes ahead and drops. KD. I'm trying to get KD stats, but I do got Harden stats right here: 34, 6, and 12 for Harden, and that's 12 assists. And then KD got 35 last night. He got 30 last night as well. But Joe Harris did dump in 20 himself, so he pretty much made up for Kyrie last night. And they had all starters in double figures last night as well too. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the nightcap, the Lakers, very disappointing last night. Late show was up 19 points. Forgot that Steph Curry was a two-time MVP. Forgot that the Warriors are three-time champions, and they went ahead, blew a 19-point lead against Steph Curry, Draymond, and 7 G Leaguers. So pretty much it is what it is. But you know what? But I like the kid Wiseman. I like Wiseman a lot. Wiggins, you're a disappointment. We all know that. But all in all, you have become a good glue little vet. But the rest of you guys, who are you? Seriously. So pretty much, but Kelly Oubre had a game last night, to be dead honest with you. So pretty much, I think what we do here is we say to ourselves, Laker fans, just breathe. It's one of those games, it's a game that the Lakers need to realize that this is where we need to make adjustments at, period, point blank. Okay, let's stop being, lollygagging. If we're up 7 with 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, we have to win this game by 10 or 12 points. We can't sit up in here and think that the other team is going to lay down because we are the Lakers. You know what I mean? And the Warriors want to prove a point because the Warriors have been written off. Everybody is pretty much, they're done. And then even I had to say it last night. I said, Kerr's been coaching them for 7 years. He goes to the finals 5 times in a row. Then the 1 year he doesn't go to the finals, they're the worst team in basketball. And I'm just, if that's not overrated, you know what I mean? Because I've seen Greg Popovich with worse make the playoffs. I've seen actually Phil Jackson coach up a Laker team the year that Kobe scored 81 points. The team that we had was Lamar Odom and Kobe Bryant, and pretty much the rest of everybody else was either some rookie player or some guy that was literally damn near off the streets. You know what I mean? It's the Smush Parkers of the world. Come on, man. And they were able to do this. And no offense to Smush. Smush is one of street ball legends. So let's not forget that part. So pretty much it is what it is. And you know what? We don't have enough games for the super high five tonight, but we do have ourselves some games. So we got 2 games tonight, and those 2 games are going to be this. The 2 games are going to be the 2 games will be this. We got the Jazz and we got the Thunder and the Nuggets going at tonight. So Thunder Nuggets going at it, and pretty much what they have here is the Thunder as a 9.5 point dog tonight, and then you have the Pelicans and the Jazz tonight as well, too, over under 218 in that game. So pretty much I'm going plus 9.5 with the Thunder tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and take the over 218 with the Pelicans and the Jazz tonight as well, too. And that's going to be for the NBA games of the night. Now let's go ahead and get into the CBB game of the night. And pretty much the CBB game of the night resides in Seton Hall tonight. Not Seton Hall, but it resides in Philly tonight. Villanova is going to be playing against Seton Hall tonight. Villanova is a 9-point favorite. They are 8-1 coming into this game, and I pretty much, and as you guys can see, they have taken over my screen, and right now Villanova is going to be our play. Villanova wasn't supposed to take over the screen like that, but that's going to be the play tonight. -9 and Villanova, and there it is. So pretty much Villanova tonight. If you guys want to see it, Villanova is the pick, -9 tonight. So that's going to be our CBB game of the night. And there it is. So pretty much let's go ahead and talk about the CBB Primetime Pick 6. And in the CBB Primetime Pick 6, this is a 74-1 ticket as well. So pretty much you guys know that we are trying to go for the gold tonight. So pretty much we got plus 110 on Campbell tonight, money line, plus 15 on Central Michigan as well. Miami, Florida, money line. They've been such a good team on the road. They're going against Syracuse tonight at the Carrier Dome. So we're going to take them with the plus 170. And then we have -7 on Tennessee tonight playing against Florida in a big-time game down over at the Thunderdome. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think Tennessee is going to be too much for the Gators. So I'm taking them with the -7. Then we got San Diego playing against Loyola Marymount over off the side of the beach by Marina Del Rey. And pretty much I think what happens here is that San Diego comes in here and surprises everybody and gets themselves a nice cover. And then last but not least, we got Utah State going against Colorado State tonight in a Mountain West matchup. And I think Utah State's going to be good enough to win this game by 10 or better. So pretty much there it is for the CBB Primetime Pick 6. And boy, oh boy, what a day we have in college basketball. NBA a little light tonight, but we'll be fine. We will be fine. So with that, another great show has been done. And pretty much you guys make sure to tune back in tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow at noon. Same time, and pretty much I'm working on the guest right now, so I'll go ahead and I'll confirm later on tonight and all that good stuff. But hopefully we do get him in because he does have a big match this weekend as well, too. A big boxing match on Showtime. So pretty much you guys stay tuned, and we'll have another great show for you tomorrow. And this is the Premier Sports Betting Show with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and this is the Primetime Angles Live, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.